Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making Pumm's hot pumpkin soup from the Geeky Chef Cookbook. The ingredients we're going to need are 2 sugar pumpkins, also known as pie pumpkins when you go to look for them. I've gone ahead and cut them in half and removed the seeds and that stringy inner flesh from them. 5 shallots that I've roughly diced up. And you can either use 2 cups of chicken stock like I'm doing, or you could use 2 cups of vegetable stock, 1 cup of coconut milk, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, plus I have a little bit more that I'm going to brush over our pumpkins before I put them in the oven, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, 5 cloves of garlic that I've roughly minced up. I have a half of a teaspoon of each of the following: allspice, ground turmeric, ground ginger, and some thyme leaves. And then I have here a Savory Seasoning blend from the book. I'll leave the ingredient amounts down in the description, but it consists of onion powder, garlic powder, parsley, salt, and pepper. And then I've got some pepita seeds that we're going to use as a garnish later on. And then we'll also need a little bit of additional salt and pepper. And those are all of our ingredients. So let's go ahead and start getting our pumpkins prepped and ready to go in the oven. For our pumpkins, all we're going to do is take a little bit of this extra olive oil and brush the insides and the edges of it with our olive oil. And be sure to coat this liberally with it. That way they don't stick and burn to our aluminum foil lined cookie sheet. Now that I have our first pumpkin coated with olive oil, I'm just simply going to turn it upside down and place it on my cookie sheet while I continue brushing olive oil over the rest of my pumpkins. Alright guys, here is the last of my pumpkins all olive oiled up. And I'm going to go ahead and coat this little cut side from where I removed the tops. Let's go ahead and put that one down. And these are going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes, or until the inner flesh is tender and starts pulling away from the outer shell. Now that the pumpkin's out of the oven, I went ahead and let it cool for about 10 minutes before I removed all the flesh from the skin. And we can go ahead and move on to the next part of our soup base, which is sauteing up our shallots in our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm also going to add in my 5 cloves of garlic. I've allowed the shallots and garlic to saute for about 5 minutes. And it's just now starting to turn lightly brown and they become translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my seasonings next. Next in is our coconut milk, followed by the 2 cups of chicken stock, the maple syrup, and the last thing I'm going to transfer in is our pumpkin. Now that I have this all stirred together, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of salt. And we're going to also add a little bit of black pepper. And then I'll stir this together and allow it to come up to a simmer. Now that this has come up to a simmer, I'm going to transfer it into a blender. Now that I have half of my soup in here, I'm going to go ahead and puree it until it's smooth. Now that I have this pureed smooth, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it back into our pot, and then I'll continue blending up the remainder of our soup. Now that I have all the soup transferred back into the pot, I do want to check it for seasoning. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt. I think I could use it. I'm going to definitely add a little bit more black pepper, and I'm going to add in a little bit of the seasoning blend. Alright, I want to try it one more time, make sure our seasoning is right where I want it. That's pretty good. All I'm going to do is allow this to come back up to a simmer, and then simmer for an additional 10 minutes. Pumm's hot pumpkin soup is done, so let's go ahead and get in here and try it out. I did top it off with a little bit of those toasted pepita seeds. Oh wow, this is really good. This is the first time I've ever had pumpkin soup, and I have to say I really like this. I really like how thick this soup is. It really makes it feel like it's a hearty soup. All the flavors in here are very well balanced. Not one stands out more than the other. I'm definitely glad I gave this one a try. But that is going to be it for me for the day. If you guys have enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below. If you guys tried this recipe out, let me know how it turns out for you. If you would like to be a part of the Gamers and Geeks playlist, leave me a comment down below, and I'll tell you how you can become a part of it. Also, while you're at it, check out the Gamers and Geeks playlist as well as some of my other cooking videos. I'll leave links down in the description to them. And as always, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.